Right, the FM section is all back together again. I replaced quite a lot of capacitors in it actually that are not normally a problem, but because I wasn't getting anywhere with the first couple of attempts I tried, I went through and I replaced a couple of the capacitors here. C73 measured okay, as did C70 was faulty, totally open circuit. That was a 3 nan. I put a 470 puff in, so that should be fine. There's a decoupling capacitor you see there, C58. That's shouldn't be a problem. That's decoupling from the power supply for the heaters. Basically replaced these two capacitors here, replaced this capacitor here. There's a neutralizing capacitor here. Just keep still so you can see what you're doing. This capacitor here, 65, is it? This adjusts the radiation of the local oscillator, and also what it tends to do is it also alters the response of the scale linearity as well. So that was a big adjustment that needed to be replaced. So yeah, as I say, I've replaced quite a number of the capacitors in it. As you can see, this is the capacitor I was talking about in the last episode that was totally open circuit, so that was mounted on the back so you couldn't actually really notice it. The set's still very microphonic at certain frequencies. It's almost like it's at a certain frequency it's sort of generating its own resonance sort of carrier, sort of like a ghost signal, you know what I mean, like a birdie. But it doesn't seem to be on a channel or anything like that, so that's not much of a problem. The problem with the string, when I had to have this pulled out all the way to get the tuning correct. The only thing I could think of, either there's something tolerance has changed in the radio, or this string has stretched. So what I did was I wrapped it around. I don't know if you can see here. If I tune in here, you can see that the string's wrapped around this screw here. I just went around another turn and restrung it, and that's fixed it. It's the sensitivity's a lot better. It's very, very sensitive to having its case removed. So that cover's removed. The oscillator loop moves by about a megahertz, so it's you can't calibrate them without the FM section on, without the cover section on the FM, without this tin cover on. Likewise, keep the cover on the valve as well. So give you a quick run through on the FM side, so you can see what it's or hear what it sounds like, and then we need to move our attention to the AM to see if that's working okay. Though I did try it when I first got it on AM, and it sounded like it was probably quite reasonable. So let's just see. Just a quick scan through.
In the 1700s, gave his name to a bright red apple, which can be used to make cider, or in this case, a medium apple juice.
Nice tone.
Margaret Morris, who met at Teacher Training College in Newcastle, but now farm in.
I've now set the I've set the IF up by only by ear, I'm afraid, because I haven't had a chance to get the wobulator out or anything like that. Basically, I peaked the 10.7 and nulled the discriminator on AM, which is one way you can do it, and it's giving it a very reasonable sort of account of itself, so it's probably adequate for this sort of radios. It's no hi-fi radio.
It's Composer of the Week.
The writer Val McDermid explores the history of same-sex love.
Of course.
Now this is the point where it resonates. It's about 94.5 meg. But past that stage it's fine. There's not a lot on this around this area. Radio 1. And there's a birdie or something there. I'm not sure what's generating that, but it certainly seems to be working pretty well.
Award-winning sketch comedy.
So the next step will be to try and find out if the AM works and run through that, check its alignment, and we'll move on.